Hi y'all, it's Andrea and Ashley over at Sewspire.com, and we are here with our weekly studio update. Summer has officially begun here in Virginia and all of the kids are home. And yesterday I was fortunate enough I had all three of my girls in the studio. In case you haven't been able to put together the range of ages in our family, our youngest is Isabel and she's 9. And then we have Megan, and she's my artist, she's 16. And then we have Ashley, my college graduate, and she is almost 22. And then we have our son, Zachary is the eldest, also a college graduate and a chemist, and he is 23. Yep, I got it right. So that makes me old. But it's all right. So yesterday, Ashley teamed up with Isabel, the youngest, and they were working on a special project that I'm going to let her tell you about, and then I'm going to tell you all about what Megan and I were working on.
Yes, so many of you may or may not know, my mom has to give a speech on Monday, so we wanted to do a little gift for those ladies that were going to come watch her give her speech. So Isabel and I did half-yard cuts of fabric, and we put together little bundles, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. And you can see here we did a variety of different kinds of fabrics. And then on this card, it has a little bit of information about Sewspire on one side and then the fourth seam on the other side. So last week I actually worked on designing these, and Isabel helped me fold all the fabric, put together the little green seal with the heart in the middle, and then slip in the little tiny card about Sewspire in the fourth seam.
And show them the back what Isabel's job was, because they know
about
washi tape.
And then on the back, Isabel, she hand selected different types of washi tape to seal them together. So if you're getting one of these little bundles on Monday, just know Isabel picked out your washi tape especially for you.
Yes, and they said, they had told me when I called for just a final briefing that there was anywhere from 75 to 80 people coming, so we have 79 of these. So let's hope that the 80th person isn't without. But in the event a lot of people are on vacation and we have extra bundles, this will be part of our future Happy Mail giveaways. So I want to thank Ashley for designing that card. I absolutely love it. It is so beautiful, and the quality, if you happen to be a business owner and you're looking for literature for your business, the quality at moo.com is unsurpassed. Really, truly top quality. So anyways, we are having a beautiful time in the studio together already as a family, and Megan and I are working on a very, very special project that I want to share with you. And I didn't even realize how special this project would be until it started taking shape. And even Megan looked at me in the process and she said, wow, I didn't realize that this much had actually transpired in this time frame, and it is a lot. So what we did, I'm going to have Ashley hold one and I'll hold the other. We are working on, it's not quite done yet. Megan's going to come back in tomorrow and help me finish it. We are building a storyboard or a timeline of my business. So because the topic for the speech is my entrepreneurial journey, so hopefully we're going to be able to zoom in and show you this, but we just crossed over 24,000 subscribers here at Sewspire. And a lot of you may not actually know my story. In 2006, I was a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 children. Megan was our youngest at the time, and she was like 3 years old. And you and Zachary were both still in elementary school. And I was like PTA president. We had like the picture perfect life. My husband was an Airbus captain. It was a good life. And that changed suddenly when we found out that the airline that my husband was flying for was closing its doors forever. He'd been employed there more than 20 years, and he was not going to be flying anymore. So the first graphic here is a poor Darren on the couch holding his airline cap and in a funk. So his dreams, and in some regards my dream of being a stay-at-home mom had been flushed down the proverbial toilet. So we started brainstorming what things I could do. I knew for sure I didn't want to leave the kids, and I didn't want to put them to daycare. And we were still hopeful that one day he would return to flying, which obviously then would require him to travel a lot, and I would really need to be home for the kids. So we were trying to think of things that I could do that would let me still take care of the children once he did find employment, but really help us through this time where we obviously had an income deficit. So we brainstormed, and I came up with babies and bags, because we went back to that life is good methodology, do what you love. And I was like, okay, well, I love babies and I love bags. So I was going to sell baby themed accessories, and as those products started arriving, I was quick to pick out flaws and changes, and then I could kind of see how they could have made it better. And so plan A was set aside, and I went to plan B, which was to teach myself how to sew and start making my own products the way I envisioned them. So I literally did not know how to sew, did not own a sewing machine, did not even know how to thread a sewing machine. Worked at that dining room table, sold my initial creations, which were so very simple, to friends and families, and at a craft fair at the high school. And of course, everyone was very supportive because they knew that Darren was unemployed. So that got me my start there. Then when I had a design that was nice enough, I took that to eBay, became a power seller. And then in 2008, a customer on eBay told me about Etsy, and it was like literally overnight success for me on Etsy. That was in 2008. I happened to be pregnant with Isabel, and guess what? Darren lost his job again for the second airline job. So that was the time frame when he decided he was getting out of the airline industry. So anyways, I was working really then overtime for sure, building the business, and as a result of that effort, business skyrocketed. At that point, I was taking over the entire basement. I signed my first commercial lease in Middleburg. I got featured in Southern Living magazine, and my gross sales for that first year of being outside of the house was $60,000, which in some parts of the country you certainly couldn't live off of that, but it was a true blessing for our family at the time. And when you consider that was one woman doing that by herself, it is pretty impressive. In total now, I've made more than $250,000 by myself on Etsy. So I don't know how $250,000 would change your life, but I'm guessing it would have a positive impact on your life, just as it has on ours. So then after that, I was able to open my own boutique. Switch. This is my favorite part of the board, because this kind of sadness is behind us. My husband does have a job too, everybody. A very nice job, so that's good. Okay, so with the boutique, I was able to collaborate with other makers, and that's where I really found my zone, that happy spot, you know, where time ceases and you are just, it's almost like being high. It's a euphoria. And that zone was when I was collaborating with the other makers in my shop. I absolutely loved it, and I knew I had to find a way to get more of that collaboration. And so there were a lot of factors in my decision to close the shop, but one of them was to free up, the predominant one was to free up that extra time so that I could reach women just like yourself and other makers, which is why I founded the forseam.com, and stay in that zone and always be in that euphoria or high. So I closed the shop, which essentially I say I didn't earn a real official MBA from a university, but I spent that much money. I could have earned an MBA running that shop, and I certainly acquired the real life skills that one would study in the books, except I had real life experience. So I call that my MBA. And there are never, as you know, there are never any mistakes in life. As long as you learn, there are no true mistakes. So that shop, I don't think about it so much as a mistake, but as an incredible learning experience. So I closed the shop, then we moved into the little tiny studio, which you all know from the earlier videos, and my focus was strictly on building this beautiful community, which is very successful. When I moved into that little shop downstairs, or little studio, we only had 2,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Yeah. And I said, I'm growing this community, and then I focused on my Etsy business as well. And so I did that for almost 16 months, and that was down here, and launched the 4 seam, and then moved into my dream studio, and that's where we are today. And then this part here we're going to fill up with all the future dreams, and you see our hot air balloon there, and that is symbolic of where we're going with this community. So I wanted to share that with you, plus it's great practice for me as I get ready for this speech, which I'm a little nervous about, but I'm just trying to bust right through that. So if y'all have any tips, let me know. I am not going to picture them naked, so don't even tell me that, because we're not going to go there. I did want to ask for your help with one thing with this speech. I want to, because this is my first official public, talks, presentation, speaking, and that is an integral part of what I want to do in the future, which is travel the world sharing my story with other people. So I have got to get over this, any kind of fear that I might think I have. And so one of the things I want to do, because I want to remember this, because it is the first time, so I want to remember it forever. I want to send blank boards, like we just showed you, out into the audience and have these ladies kind of critique me or offer me words of inspiration or encouragement. And I'm going to bring this back and share them with you. But I want to know how to ask them what to write on those boards. I want to, it's kind of twofold the process, but I thought you all might have some ideas. I want to remember the first time, because I do remember like the first of all these steps of this business, and this is a major, major milestone that will make it onto that timeline, which is also going to be displayed here. So if you have ideas of what I can invite them to write on those boards, please let us know in the comments. Oh, and one other thing that is funny, we're building something I'm calling a sewing hierarchy, and this is kind of a little funny thing to share with them, because I also get to spend some time teaching them how to make one of my bags. And so I need your funny, terrible sewing stories, because I'm going to start with the novice sewer and then work my way up to what I think is the highest level of sewing. So if you have sewing nightmares or funny stories, please let us know right away, because we have to finish that tomorrow. Megan will be back in the studio with her pens helping me. So send us an email at
sewinginspiration@gmail.com, or you could also leave a comment on the video too. We'll see it there.
That's great. Yes. And let me know about something funny that's happened to you when you were sewing, okay? So I can work that into the board. A lot of you are making the shopping tote. What do you think of that bag?
It's awesome. It's huge. You can fit a lot inside of that.
You really can. I shop, Ashley helps me grocery shop, and we buy a lot of food, but multiple times a week we have to go. I don't know what happens to food. I think somebody's giving it away when I leave. I joke. I'm like, okay, is the dog going in the fridge? What's happening? But what's nice is my husband is strong enough. He can carry both of those bags up the steps. I don't think I could. Could you?
Probably.
Because it would have been nice for you when you're in college.
Especially in college, because I would have to carry all my groceries. There's one trip in college. You don't take multiple trips.
Yeah, and sometimes you had to walk to the grocery store.
I did.
Yes. So if you have a college student or someone heading off to college, you might want to make them one of those. And then you can fold it up. It doesn't take a lot of space in your dorm. But I'm loving seeing your pictures, and really rarely, I tell you, do I design something and I use it and then don't change anything about it, but there's nothing I want to change about this bag. So I'm thrilled with that. A lot of questions about how much yardage. I'm going to try and get better about the yardage for you. Buy 1 yard for that for the exterior and 1.5 yards for the interior, 2.5 yards total. On Saturday, we're sewing an apron. Will you move my beautiful mannequin over? Her name is Macy, by the way. I don't know if I have ever told you all that. This is Macy, and she's modeling our classic ticking apron, which we will be sewing on. Gotta move her back a little bit, I think. There we go. We'll be sewing this. That's perfect. On Saturday, You're going to need 1.5 yards of ticking, which is like that mattress ticking. You're going to need either a 1-inch tri-glide, or I had some of those, there we go, or 2 D-rings. And the ticking I get at Walmart, and I have that here, I paid $6.97 a yard. I went ahead and bought 4 yards of taupe because I really want to start showing y'all how I cut the fabric out. So this apron is nice because it's obviously unisex, and the adjustable neckline allows people of all different shapes and sizes to wear it. I personally love this full front pocket because you usually have your phone. Some people, of course, put like a little towel in there, utensils that they're not quite ready to use. Like if you're heading out to the grill, you can put your clean utensils in there. And then we'll turn her around. And it ties in the back. You can make these straps longer and then tie it in the front, which is a really flattering look. Or if you prefer, like I doubt the guys want to tie it in the front. And if you're going to make this for Dad, just make the strap so he can knot that in the back. So thank you, Miss Macy, for all of your help. That's Saturday's project. Now, there is a little bit of confusion over how we're running the new schedule, so I'm going to let Ashley explain what our schedule is. And we made it through a week, right? We kept to it, yay! Yeah. So let her explain, because some of you are confused about the times of the events.
So on Tuesdays at 10 a.m., that's Eastern time, we live stream on YouTube. And if you're not able to make that time, don't worry, the video is uploaded later on. You just won't get to engage in the live chat. You'll get to see what people are saying in the real time as it happens, but you just won't get to participate. You can still comment though on the video.
So how is the live stream different than what we're doing right now?
Yes, so the live stream is us in real time. You're seeing it completely uncut, and a lot of it is question and answer based. So you can send in your questions through comments or emails, and we're going to answer those questions on the live stream. And any of those questions that we don't get to, we're going to answer in the newsletter. Now the newsletter comes out on Wednesdays. So if you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, you can do that at sewspire.com.
And that is not actually a print news. If I could, it would be in print, but it is actually...
It's all electronic, so it'll come to your email. And if you don't, for whatever reason, want any of those emails, you can still view the newsletter on sewspire.com. Then on Thursdays is where you're going to see the vlog studio update, which is what we're doing now, which we're going to go over, what's happening in the studio that week. And then on Saturdays is when you're going to see that normal tutorial that you're all expecting. So for the vlog and the tutorial, those are just uploaded at some point during that day. We don't have a set upload time.
Yes, thank you so much. And then one person asked if we were going to do Facebook Live. We discussed that and we decided not at this time. We really feel like the plate is full, and we'll try to share the live links on Facebook so you don't have to search for them on YouTube, but I don't see us having the resources right now to add another element to this. Yes, so thank you though for thinking of us. I got some more pretty postcards I want to show you. And I'm going to have Ashley walk this one. Just don't flip around because she might not want her address out there in the world. This one is from Genova, Italy. And can you read to them what's on the back of that, Ash? She gave some little history of Genova. Am I saying that right?
Yes. Genova was in the past century a maritime power. Here was born the first bank in the world, Banco di San Giorgio. I apologize for that Italian I just butchered. And many other things that the postcard cannot show. Greetings from Italy.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. That card is going to serve as a reminder to me that we have an international audience here at Sewspire, and that makes me so happy. Then this also has an international, they may have Paris, France here, and this is from my friend Karen, and she said, outside of sewing, her next obsession is all things French. So just show them how beautiful Karen's stationery is. And that came in an absolutely gorgeous envelope as well. So I'm going to add both of those to our Sewspire inspiration board, which is growing. I have already written the letters and have those ready to go to the post office today. I'm especially excited about the one going to Italy because have you ever seen the International Post stamp? Right now, it's a succulent. Aww. And it is truly beautiful. I think it costs $2 or $3 to send a letter out of the country. But that stamp is so pretty when you get that. Cherish that stamp as well, because I love that graphic on that. I wanted to ask Ashley, how many weeks into this are we since you graduated?
I graduated almost a month ago, so I would say 3.5 weeks.
Okay, so we have all of July left and half of June. Okay, it's not too bad. What have you learned so far?
I learned my mom does a whole heck of a lot more than I thought. One, I don't know how you do it all.
That's what they ask me all the time.
Yeah.
What would you say is my secret?
I think you just stay calm.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. I think you're just with it. You're super authentic and you really care about the work that you're doing, so to you it doesn't seem like work. It's just something that you enjoy doing.
I think that, but I don't even think about that it's not work, or that's probably it, is that it doesn't feel like work, so I don't necessarily get tired. I was going to say my secret is my smoothie. One time for fun, we should make the smoothie with them.
Yeah, we can show you guys how she does it.
Yeah, I don't know, knock on wood, if it has anything to do with the smoothie. I believe so in my head, but I don't have any scientific data to back it up. But I have not been sick, even had so much as a sniffle it was 2 years last October. So wherever we are from October, more than 2.5 years since I started drinking that smoothie. So one time we will share that with you all too, that special recipe. I don't think we'll make it here, but we'll make it in my kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm a little messy smoothie maker. It's flying all over the place. All right, so that's cool. Anything else? How about skills-wise? Have there been any actual technical skills that you didn't have the opportunity to practice in college that you've had yet?
I think
the chance.
What I really enjoy is just kind of the freedom to create. So for example, with that square I showed you, I just sat and worked on several different designs and said, what do you think? What do you think? Same thing with the newsletter, and just put it all together. I think it's nice to be able to play with, the tools that are available for me and just to create the content. Yeah.
And she might challenge me on this, but I don't think I'm a micromanager.
No,
I think I'm
so.
like, just go for it, girl. And likewise, I appreciate it when people let me have that authentic creative freedom. And we were actually on a conference call, can't give too many details, but that freedom was extended to me this week too. And I really appreciate that, because if you are a creative individual, your true talents are going to shine when you have that freedom. So I think that's why I'm allowed to let Ashley just run with it, is because I know that's the only way we're going to get to the goal. So I told y'all we hit 24,000 subscribers. I want to thank you very much. I mean, really, when I'm preparing for this speech, I had 1 subscriber when I started. I mean, basically, I was just a dork, guys. I said to my family, I'm getting a GoPro, and I bought a MacBook, and I'm going to be a YouTuber. And they're nice to me and everything. They didn't say you're dumb, mom, or or anything. But when I recorded the first video, I had 1 person watching, my husband.
Yeah.
So I really do sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your support and continued enthusiasm. And I know that the work in the channel is having a positive impact, and that's what keeps me going. So we have a giveaway in celebration of the 24,000, and Ashley and Isabel folded all the fabric beautifully and filled up the envelope. And then this morning on my way over here, I dumped it on the floor. Ashley goes, oh, Mom. I'm like, I'm sorry. So now it's not nice and pretty, but it is all still in here, and you can see it is big. I'm guessing this weighs about 2 pounds. Excuse me, 2 pounds?
Yeah, 2 or 3 pounds.
So a lot of fabric, and these are recent. This is from my pretty recent bin, and it's ready to roll, and I just random chose a winner. Our international friends are absolutely welcome to enter the Happy Mail drawings, and these type packages are totally doable for me to ship anywhere in the world. So don't you worry about that. Let me tell you who the lucky winner is. Miss Natalie Davis, you are the winner of that flat rate envelope. If you will send me an email at
sewinginspiration@gmail.com.
with your shipping address, I will ship your package right out to you. So now we're going to kind of break off from here, and we're going to head over to the sewing table because I promised you 2 demos. I want to show you exactly how I manage large cuts of fabric, and then I want to also show you 2 techniques for creating corners on bags, because several weeks ago we had a question, how do you keep your corners from bunching? So I thought I would just demonstrate a close-up of the 2 different types of corners that I use. One would be the boxy corner where we have a side panel, a base panel, and a front and rear panel, and then one would be the fat corner where we fold out like the triangle and line up the seams and then stitch. So I want to do that, and then one other person, more than one actually, had wanted a peek at the Main Street view. So for however long the GoPro battery will last after we're done over there, I'm going to just set the camera in the window and you can watch the happenings of this sweet little town, which has like less than 200 people, like all residents. No stoplights in the town. We have a fire station, we have a train. Occasionally the sheriff goes blaring through, which you heard out the back window a few minutes ago. But we don't have a sheriff for this town. He's just a sheriff blowing through town. Almost every day he does that. So yeah. What else do we have here? We have a coffee shop.
A couple of restaurants.
We'll point the door towards a coffee shop. One restaurant that we've tried, very, very good. But there are 2 more fancier restaurants that we have not tried. Anything else in the plains? Yes, seriously it.
And a gas station.
Oh yes, we have a gas station as well. Or the camera in the windowsill, and you can just take in the happenings of the plains. But for now, we'll head on over to the cutting table. Okay y'all, so as promised, I want to show you how I work with large cuts of fabric. Let's say you just went to the quilt shop, you got 2 yards of cotton, they folded it nice and tidy for you. So along this top edge you'll have your selvage, and then this is your folded edge. So my trick to working with large cuts of fabric is to fold it in half long ways and align that top folded edge with the selvage. So the first thing you want to do is true up that edge, just in case I didn't do a good job at the fabric shop. So you know that you're starting with a clean edge. And then let's say, like for most of my bags I use 15-inch wide cuts, so I would just move over, make that 15-inch cut, and let's say I'm going to cut some straps, so that's 6 inches. And then I would take my 15-inch cut and open that up, and I need that to be 18 inches across. And these happen to be the measurements for the market tote, if you want to go ahead and watch that tutorial. And so then this right hand side, which is the selvage, is trash, but this is still a really great scrap, so I toss that in the scrap bin. And now with hardly any effort, I have my 2 body panels for the market tote cut. And then if I wanted to do the straps, I would have 2 straps, and my straps are of course 6 inches wide and then 14 inches long. So it's just a matter of folding that fabric to optimize the cut. Now I promised you I would show you how to sew nice neat corners. I'm going to demonstrate 2 techniques. The first is the boxy corner, in which you end up with those holes in the bottom like that, and so you have the base and the side panels, and then the front and the rear panels. And the trick, the original question that prompted this demo was, how do you keep your corners from bunching? So you want to put your fingers in there and then smooth out and flatten those seams, and you're just stitching from seam to seam, and that's how you'll get that nice boxy corner. Now for the fat corners, you'll have 2 flat pieces of fabric that you stitch right sides facing, and you stitched the sides, the base, and the side, and the top is open, and you open that up and reach inside, and you're aligning that side seam with the base seam. And then let's say for this I wanted a 3-inch depth, so I would fold that using my mat, and you could with your fingernail crease that. You could use tailor's chalk and mark it, but then you would just stitch right across that 3-inch line, and that will give your bag its depth. Okay, so I hope those 3 sewing techniques are helpful to you. If you have questions about any of the Sewspire construction methods, feel free to email those to us at sewinginspiration@gmail.com, and we will feature your question in a future vlog or in the newsletter. As promised, I'm going to put you all in the window so you can take in the sights of the Plains, Virginia. And I will see you on Saturday, and then Ashley and I will be together again on Tuesday for the live stream at 10 a.m. Eastern, and then back here 1 week from today with the studio update and vlog. So until we meet again, please know the creative genius in me will be celebrating the creative genius in you. Hope you have a beautiful week, everyone.